What's up guys, this is KD Cloudy again, and Mobile World Congress is right around the corner and we have some big manufacturers coming there and showing off their latest tech. And one of those biggest manufacturers is Samsung, and they're expected to show their new Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy S7 Edge. But the event is kind of far away, it's about on February 21st. So before that, about damn time, we have some pretty trustworthy leaks, some images of the hands-on of the device, some patterns and some screenshots, which give us a pretty good idea of what to expect. So without further ado, let the speculation begin. So we'll start off with the design. If you take a look at the leaks, you can see that the design is kind of similar to the Galaxy S6. The corners seem to be more rounded off. I think that's because it's the edge model. But uh, something which is also noticeably different is the material choice. If you see the reflections of the lights at the back, you can see that they are different and don't see, and this material doesn't seem to be glass. This seems to be something like plastic. And also, as a side note, Samsung is rumored to bring back the IP67 certification, which is which is supposed to make it waterproof and dust proof. And I think plastic would be a good choice for the materials. But let's see how Samsung makes the phone premium like the Galaxy S6. But what I'm sure about is that this is going to solve the problem of slipperiness of the Galaxy S7, which is a which was a big problem in the Galaxy S6. So I think that a new material is a good choice for Samsung, and let's see how it goes. Now, speaking of the specs and the processor, I think that Samsung is going to come up with two variants as usual, like the Samsung Galaxy S5. One is going to have their Exynos 8890 processor, which is their newly produced Exynos chip, quite a beast of chip, and I think it's equivalent to the Snapdragon 820. And also for the units which are going to be shipped in US and England, they are going to have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, which is again quite a beast. And I think this one of the first devices to sport these two chips. And by seeing the benchmarks at the leaks, the performance seems to be on point. Now coming to the RAM, it's going to be 4 gigabytes, nothing more than that. And looking at the leaks, it has a score of 6000 on Antutu benchmark in the memory section. So I'm going to go for it's 4 gigabytes. It's not going to be more than 4 gigabytes, but it's going to be at least DDR4, because I don't think DDR3 is going to manage that high score. And yeah, DDR4 should do the job. Let's move on to the display. Now, the Galaxy S7, the flat one, is going to have a 5.1 inch, and the Galaxy Edge is going to have a slightly bigger 5.5 inches display, both having a resolution of 2560 by 1440, which is quite HD. Super AMOLED, but it won't be 4K. I'm calling it. Moving on to the camera, there is quite a lot of murmur about the camera. Some are saying that the camera bump would be slightly thinned down from the Galaxy S6, and also the sensor which will be used is going to be downgraded from 16 megapixels to 12 megapixels. I think that they're going to use the same sensor as the Nexus 6P and the 5X for more light and better image processing. And I think that's going to be fair, because there's not much difference between 16 megapixels and 12 megapixels. Some are also saying that Samsung is going to go for the 25 megapixel sensor used in the Sony Z5 Premium and the Z5 Compact. It might happen, I don't know, but it's rumor. Now coming to the battery, I initially thought that they are going to be at least 27 milliamp hours, since that the leaks show that they are thinner than the Galaxy S6. But another leaked screenshot from the Galaxy S7 Edge suggests that it's going to have a battery of 3600 milliamp hours. That's a lot of battery, and I think that such a big battery is going to get some good battery life, since the battery life on the Galaxy S6 was quite dismal, and everyone was disappointed with it. So good job, Samsung. Now coming to the software, it's going to be TouchWiz again, but this time built on top of Android 6 Marshmallow, and it's also rumored to have a feature called an always on screen, which is similar to the Moto X display, which is similar to the Moto display found in the Motorola devices, and also an ambient display. Yes, that's quite a nifty feature, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, next, moving on to the other things, which include a micro SD card slot. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because the leaks, there's a sticker at this leaked phone which has 32 gigabytes. Now, that uh, doesn't necessarily mean Samsung won't feature a micro SD card slot like the Galaxy S5, but please, Samsung, many people are counting for it. Just do it. But anyways, we are all prepared to be disappointed. Secondly is the USB Type C. It's 2016. USB Type C is a thing, kinda, futuristic stuff. And thirdly, last but not least, a removable back and a removable battery. No, it's not gonna happen. If you see the leaks again, the back panel seems to have merged with the edges, and I think that thing is impossible to remove. So I would say that Samsung is kind of done with the whole removable battery and back thing. So I'd just say that don't keep up your expectations high. You are pretty much likely to be disappointed. Yeah, and the regular stuff like fast charging, wireless charging, and pretty much everything else is going to stay there in the Galaxy S7, including Samsung Pay, which is part of the whole software thing. So yeah, and but before ending the video, I would like to address the three things which, contrary to some rumors and some predictions, I think that these three things won't be there in the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. First is a 4K display, secondly is a pressure sensitive display, and third is more than 4 gigabytes of RAM. Let me explain. The Galaxy S7 might not have a 4K display because Samsung is yet to mass produce 4K OLED panels, and if they try to put a 4K LCD panel in their Samsung Galaxy S7, the increase of the battery is pretty much useless, because, well, it's gonna chew through the battery, and it's just pointless to have it now. And coming to the pressure sensitive display, I think it's kind of difficult to bring that thing to a curved screen where I think it might be an engineering problem, and pressure sensitive display would make more sense on a Galaxy Note 6, because Samsung can do tons of things with the S Pen and TouchWiz and a pressure sensitive display. They can make tons of new features, and I think that the pressure sensitive display and the whole thing would be kind of unutilized in the Galaxy S7, because it's not natively supported in Android, so the app support is will be kind of lacking. So it's well, pretty much going to be a gaming feature, and yeah, that's it. And thirdly, coming to more than 4 gigabytes of RAM, the reason why I don't think it's going to be a thing, because, well, that's purely based on speculation. And here's one thing: Samsung hasn't ever increased the amount of memory they have in a Galaxy S device. They have always done it in a Note 6 device. And all these three things which I talked about make more sense on a Note, because what I think is that the Samsung Galaxy S lineup is their safe playing field, and the Galaxy Note lineup is their field for all the craziness, all the overkill stuff, and all the experiments. Samsung Galaxy Note was an experiment by itself, and it worked. And so, if you just take a look at the tradition of how Samsung is upgrading their products, you can see that majorly all the spec differences and changes have taken place in the Note lineup. Flashback to 2013, where a lot of people expected the Samsung Galaxy S5 to have a Quad HD display, but it ended up having a 1080p display, which was quite good. But a couple of months later, Samsung had brought that Quad HD display into their Note 4. That pretty much explains it. And also, Samsung Galaxy S6 had 3 gigabytes of RAM, and the Note 5 had 4 gigabytes of RAM. And that's the basis of my speculation. I might be wrong, but that's what everyone does. Anyways, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Those were my predictions for the Galaxy S7. Comment down below what you would like to see in the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.